Well, it's morning over here in Malatsane, NU10. I'm actually over here at Granny's house. I'm going to be moving in there now. Don't be afraid or get a fright when you see Casper the friendly ghost. And this is Granny's house. And she stays here with her two granddaughters. And she's really made it very, very nice. And she's a very special lady. To everybody staying here, this is a way of life, you know, and you can live and you can survive, but it is tough, especially for someone who's been here for as many years as Granny. And I tell you what, she keeps this place so spick and span and neat, and you see all the things here and shoes, and she's just a very special lady. But now we're doing this interview, and as viewers, we want you to watch this very closely and carefully, because we are going to buy Granny a house, okay? And so I'm handing over to the camera lady right now. Don't worry, I'll edit the fingers out. And there you go, young lady. Thank you very much. Okay, hi guys. This is me and Granny. I want to say hello. Hello. Like I said, Granny's a very special lady, okay? She's actually more than just a granny. She is my mother. She's my mother. And I want to look after her, and I need your help. The reason why we're doing this interview, and it's not easy for them to do this, but the reason why we're doing this interview is because we want to inspire the community to let them know that we can actually take a family out of these places and buy them a house, because waiting for the government, they're just too busy. They've got so many requests for RDP houses. That's houses the government will put together with the tax income. But Granny's been staying here. Granny, how long have you been staying here for?
More than 10 years.
More than 10 years. Are you happy here?
No.
Why?
The way we are living, no water, no toilets, no electricity. We have to do some
Electrical.
illegal connections
Yes.
to get electricity, which is
Oh, yeah, well, we can debate that. Granny, I want to ask you to talk just a bit louder. I want them all to hear you there in America. But, so for water, Granny, is there any water in this house?
no water.
No water? So how do you get water?
I have to go down there and fetch it.
You have to go all the way down to the bottom there.
Yes.
How many taps are there, Granny?
Only one tap.
Only one tap. And Granny doesn't have a husband here, doesn't have a man that can help her, and she has to do all the stuff herself. Well, actually, out in the culture, I suppose she has to. But she walks, I watch her. I go and get water sometimes, and I come back and I think I need a holiday for a month. But Granny goes down and she does it maybe twice. How many times a day do you do it?
3 times a day.
3 times a day. I'll show you guys where Granny has to go. And there's no shower here, eh?
No shower.
No bath, no taps inside here. Granny has to walk all the way down to get water. That's drinking water, washing water, cooking water, every kind of water you can imagine. Granny's got to go and get, hey? And Granny, tell me, toilets as well. There's no toilet in here. No toilet. And to go to the toilet, I saw there's 2 toilets all the way down the bottom, hey?
Yeah.
Just 2 toilets
Just 2
for the whole camp.
for the whole.
And at night time, isn't it scary? You can't go there at night time.
I don't go there, use a bucket.
Use a bucket. And I use a bucket at night too. Well, in the beginning, I wasn't told about the wires right next to the house, and I went to the toilet outside because it's kind of like acceptable, I thought, but I nearly electrocuted myself. That would have been very bad for the future of potential bread incomes coming forth. But, you know, so Granny can't go to the toilet at night, and as a rule now, I don't either. And the ladies here in particular will not go down to the toilet at night, and they have a bucket, is that right? And the ladies and the men and the children use the bucket through the night. And one of my jobs, first jobs I learned here, was to throw the, you're gonna have to excuse the language, but this is what I call it. It's called a piss bucket. And I have to throw it out into a specific ravine, and so does Granny, you know? And this is the way Granny's living here for over 10 years. And how many grandchildren, how many people staying here with you, Granny?
3.
Three people here. 3 people here. You know, we can get a house for Granny. Just up the road, I'm going to show you what that house looks like. For 30,000 to renovate it, to do what we need, maybe another 20,000. I'm still going to phone the owner. There is another house down the road. That might be a little bit more expensive. It's bigger. I'm not sure of the price. But in general, we're looking at a house from anywhere from 30,000 Rand to 70, 80,000 Rand plus renovations. And Granny and the children and her son, who stays next door, they'll have a place to live with dignity, electricity, running water, a shower, a bath maybe even. You know, these are things we take for granted out there. You know, we go to the toilet, it's just right next door, ensuite bathroom. You know, it's really sad that a senior citizen in our country, in South Africa, anywhere in the world for that matter, has to live like this. Now, it doesn't make anybody evil, it just makes us needy. And you know, it doesn't have to be like that, because if we got 10 to 20 people to pledge 5,000 Rand each, or to make any pledge whatsoever towards Granny's house, you know, we could have that house within a week. We could buy that house in a week. You know, so I'm appealing to you guys that are going to be watching this. Just do something during this crisis. You know, let's do something. You know, everybody's running around trying to protect themselves, and we must be safe, and I understand all of that. But for goodness sake, let's in the meantime do some good and play it forward, if you will. You know, what you sow is what you reap. You know, give and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. And this is Granny. And she's a very special lady. She's a tough lady. She's worked hard her whole life. Any mother out there will know, any granny out there will know, raising two small kids. And they're not big. The one is 1 year old. He's my little friend. He's my son, in fact. His name is Michael. They call him Kwemkwe. What does Kwemkwe mean, Granny? Boy. Kwemkwe means boy. And you'll see him quite often in the photography, because Granny's given me permission. And if you look at it, he stays here. And then you have Nana. Nana. And how old is Nana?
8. It's gonna be 10 in December. 9.
Yeah, 9 in December. So you've got a 1 year old, a 9 year old, and Granny Mkulu. Yeah, looking after everybody. And the mother of these precious children had to go up to Johannesburg to find a job, to try and help and to try and support the family. Because Granny, how much do you get from the government a month?
It's 880.
And Granny has to live off a grant of 880 Rand. 880 Rand. I don't really know what you can buy with 880 Rand. And then her daughter also supplies, and it's not easy. And how do they live on 1,000, 1,500 Rand a month, if that? You know? So I want to ask you guys to just come and do something about it. And Granny, tell me, have you ever had any crime here?
Yes, they tried once.
They tried once to break in?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you get scared sometimes? Were you scared in the past?
Always scared.
Always scared? Why, Granny?
It's not safe.
Not safe, eh? No high walls?
No highway.
No security fences? Security gates? Well, you got little security gates like that, but honestly, if you wanted to get in, you could just take a bolt cut and you break through that. You know, people is quite something, you know. And how do you cook meals, Granny? How do you cook for the kids and yourself when you can cook?
I use a stove.
Use the stove. I'll show you the stove just now. 2-plate stove. But Granny does the best she can with what she's got, right? And Granny, why don't you have a better house to live in?
Because I can't afford it.
Can't afford it, right? And I tell you, it gets hot here. I mean, it's not even 10, I think it's just gone 10 in the morning. And this is zinc. These are zinc platings. And it gets very, very hot here. And in winter, it gets bitterly cold here. There's no in between. And Granny, what would you say to the people that want to partner with us, that want to invest in a house? How would you feel if you got a house?
Oh, I'll be the very happiest one.
You'd be the happiest woman in the world. Have you ever had a house before, Granny?
Never.
Never had your own house?
No.
Granny's never had her own house. And if I may ask, Granny, you don't have to answer, okay? Tell me, what is your age now?
I'm 53 years.
Granny's 53 years old, young. and she's never owned her own house, never bought or rented her own house. You know, people, come on, let's do something. 10 to 20 of you, maybe more. You guys out in America, you're in lockdown. You guys in South Africa, you're in lockdown. Do something. Take something from your savings. I'm not going to beat about the bush this time. For those of you that know me, know that I never ever really asked money, except during this time my partners used to sustain me. But in all the years of ministry, I've never asked for you guys for 1 cent for anything. And I'm saying right now, outside of 2 or 3 friends that committed, but out of all of you, if you could help me to help Granny, okay, let's buy her first house. I'm telling you, it'll take us a week, 2 weeks if you guys jump on this thing now. Let's do something for somebody else for a change. And will the kids be happy, Granny?
Very happy.
Very happy. How do you get the kids to school?
I took them.
You take them to school, yeah? So you have to walk with them, yeah? And you don't have a car?
No.
Have you ever owned a car before?
No. Never. That's so good.